Hi, my name is Mary. I've been training swords for over 20 years, and today I'm going to be reviewing all the strangest swords in Demon Slayer. So the first sword that I have here is Inosuke's sword, which he had two of them, but we just have one. That's all we're going to take a look at today. Ooh. So first impressions, all of the indents here, basically, on the weapon would be super deadly for sure. Just because you're creating all these different edges and lines on the weapon, and that type of like impact is really going to rip and tear through something pretty well. It also could be used for like some type of hooking motion, similar to like a kopesh, where you can have this kind of like hooking and thrusting motion. But this is super cool. Definitely has a good look and feel to it. So now I have Tengen's weapons here. Again, this is kind of similar to the last blade we just looked at with Inosuke's blade, having this big indent here that again could use for a hook. When it's in the middle of the blade like this, it might be a little bit more challenging. With any type of shorter weapon, you're gonna be in more of a closer combat situation, so you're not going to have as much reach, but having two of them would definitely give you a little bit more variation in terms of how you can attack. Having the weapons chained together though is again a little bit impractical depending on the length of the chain, just because you could use that chain as a weapon as well, but you know, if you're swinging two really heavy blades around by a thin little chain, I'm not sure how long that would hold up. But you could use the chain for something again, in like a close combat situation, similar to like some type of sarong techniques. So that might be kind of interesting. The sarong style it's not something that I've trained, but it's typically found in, I want to say in Filipino martial arts. Again, you guys can check me if I'm wrong on that. So this is Shinobu's sword. Before you unsheath it, you're just based on everything I just pulled before this, you're expecting just a huge blade, and then it's just this thin little blade like this. This is great though, like weight-wise. Also check the floral design here. I'm totally into that, into fashion, right? Fashion over function, folks. So one of the weapons that I train with a rapier, which is obviously way different than something like this. A rapier is single hand, this is two hands, right? So any type of light blade can always allow you for quicker combat. So immediately seeing this and just feeling the weight of this, you'll be able to use this and have very quick movement. Any type of metal object, whether it's dull or sharp, you know, if you're hitting someone with that, it's still not going to feel very good. So again, this little hook right here can be super nasty, even if you're just hooking someone with that. And then all you got to do really is pull, and then I guess your imagination can kind of do the rest. So I have Mitsuri's sword next. And this one is very flexible from the show and is used almost in like a whip-like fashion. Having a little bit of flexibility in a sword is not an issue necessarily, just because if you are like going in for a cut, and let's say if someone parries it and the momentum of the blade is still traveling around that parry, there's an opportunity for the blade to still hit your target. You actually see a lot of like this flexibility in the blade with thinner types of blades. In competitive fencing, actually, you'll see some of the blade work they do. They're moving the blade so fast that the momentum of the blade is continually traveling and moving all over. So the next sword we have here is Tanjiro's broken sword. So I mean, it could be used if it's sharp here, which obviously if it's broken off, it could still be used as a knife, as a weapon for sure. So it's not to say that if you don't have the whole blade, that it's not something that could be deadly still. For stunts, basically like behind the scenes when we're doing sword combat, sometimes when we're filming the scene, we have to use these like half sword type weapons. And the reason for that is when we do the choreography, later on, they go and they CGI in the rest of the weapon so you can see the sword like stabbing and cutting through people. So when I see this, that's automatically where my brain goes as a performer. In terms of actual functionality, I think you're basically limited to just using it as a knife for close quarter combat. And here we have Tanjaro Sword. Again, I love the pattern. I love just the black and red details down here. Very, very cool. Just overall, like just a fun sword to look at. You can see this part, very, very neat with the flame details right here and the little like gold trim. Very, very cool. So that was super cool. I was really excited to be able to check out all these swords. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Again, my name's Mary. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Mary_Sola_. If you guys want to purchase any of these super cool katanas, you can purchase them either dull or sharp on minikatana.com. And thanks again for watching. See you next time.